I just turned 40 this year, and there's so many things that I wish I could have gone back and told myself when I was in my 20s and 30s that would have saved me tons of heartbreak. Since I can't do that, or at least until time travel is a thing, I'm gonna share them here with you. I don't want you to have to go through all the heartbreak that I went through. I wanna save you your time, your energy, and some pain. So that's what I'm gonna be talking about today. What I wish I would have known when I was younger and dating. But before that, I want to introduce myself. If you're new here, hello, my name is Lindsay. I am the Real Love Alchemist. I'm here to help you go from bad relationships to real love with the magic of subconscious work. If you're like, what the heck is subconscious work? Check out the link in the description and you'll learn all about it. All right, here's the first thing that I would go back and tell younger Lindsay. Someone who truly wants to be with you would not break up with you. I took my ex back twice, actually. This is my ex-husband. Once when he broke up with me in college, and then once when he broke up with me after we graduated. He was always the one coming back. I was moving on both of those times, wasn't even thinking about him, but he kept coming back, and I took him back. And what ended up was a relationship where he was never fully present. He was quite emotionally unavailable. And so what I realized is that behavior, that breaking up and then coming back, that is not ever going to make a good relationship. So if this is happening to you, if you're with someone who keeps breaking up with you, that's a sign that they don't truly want to be there. They're probably having a lot of inner conflict. And again, that's not going to make someone a very good partner for you. In hindsight, those breakups were actually a sign that this person was never going to be all in. Someone who truly wants to be with you, who doesn't have so much of an inner conflict, maybe they have a little bit of doubts, but they're not deterring them from moving forward with you. Someone like that is going to be the right partner for you, not someone who consistently breaks up with you and then comes back. Stick with somebody who doesn't break up with you. I know that kind of might sound crazy, but that's an indicator of a good relationship. The second thing I would tell younger Lindsay is that if someone spends a lot of time criticizing you, that's not love. The criticism that I actually experienced in a past relationship came in the form of trying to help me. This was with my narcissistic ex. He saw me as a project, someone to mold, someone who he could make better and mold into his perfect partner. And at times it was overt criticism. But at the time, I thought this person was truly there to help me. But the funny thing was, it didn't feel like help. Actually, whenever these things were happening, it hurt deeply. Now that I'm in a healthy relationship, that help looks like support. It looks like encouragement. I don't get criticism from my partner. That's how it really looks. That's how it should look. That's healthy love. Not pointing out all the things that are wrong with you, not constantly telling you, oh, you could do this to be better, you could do this, unless you've asked for that feedback. That's different. But if someone is giving you all of that unsolicited feedback, all of that unsolicited help, that's not real love. The third thing that I would tell younger me is stop looking for the spark. Just stop. Most of my exes had me feeling all kinds of sparks, but the ones who did were all terrible relationships. Sparks are fun, they really are. But for me, I realized that what they meant was I was experiencing familiar dysfunctional patterns with a mixture of anxiety and excitement. It felt like chemistry, it felt like sparks, but in reality, it was this mixture again of anxiety and actually longing that I was very familiar with from my past. It was a familiar feeling from being around people who were emotionally unavailable. And I thought that spark, that chemistry, that meant that it was real love, that was the person who I should be with. Wrong, not for me. For me, that meant pain. That meant heartache. So if I were coaching younger me, I would say, Lindsay, don't go for the spark. You're gonna meet a lot of people who it feels really intoxicating to be with, really intriguing, really fun. But that's not a good sign for you. You want to look for people where there's a little bit of something, there's a little bit of feeling, there's a little bit of flame there, but who you feel safe with, who you feel comfortable with, somebody who shows up consistently, that's going to be your person. And younger me would probably protest and say, no, but it feels so good to be with those people. And I would say, hey, you can go do that. You can go have fun, but these people are going to break your heart. My advice, go for the person who makes you feel safe. Because here's the truth. If you just have chemistry, that's not enough for a relationship. I always tell people, love is not enough to make a relationship work. If love were enough, man, I really loved my exes. It wasn't enough. What you have to have are two people who are willing and ready to participate in everything that a relationship entails, which means the hard conversations, which means being open about your feelings. That's what you need, somebody who is consistent, who is loyal, who has all the healthy relationship behaviors that you need to keep a relationship going. A spark, chemistry, not enough. There has to be more there. The next thing, number 4, that I would tell younger me is you don't have to settle for someone who doesn't make you feel chosen. I spent a long time in a relationship with someone where I didn't feel chosen. I didn't feel like they really wanted to be there. And so I would go back and show the younger version of myself what it's like to feel chosen. Because she actually hadn't had experience with that. She didn't know what it was like to feel really cherished and really wanted. And so since she didn't know what that was, she settled for crumbs of that. She settled for crumbs of love, crumbs of affection, crumbs of attention. And so what I would tell her is to break up with these men. Lindsay, if you aren't feeling appreciated, chosen, wanted, this is not the person for you. Break up with these guys and look for someone who is so happy to have you in their life, who truly wants to be with you, and you can feel that. They do exist. Those people are out there. You are going to find them. The last thing that I would tell myself, the last thing I would tell younger Lindsay, is that healthy relationships do involve conflict, but they also involve you being able to resolve them. So back when I was with my ex who was emotionally unavailable, we actually didn't have too many conflicts. And so I thought that our relationship was good. I was like, oh, we really don't fight. We must have a good relationship. But in reality, my ex was not present enough to actually have a conflict with. Since he kept most of his feelings and thoughts to himself, there wasn't anything to have a conflict over. And that wasn't healthy. Now, contrast to that, in the narcissistic relationship that I was in, there was a ton of conflict. We were always having conflict. There was always something that I was doing wrong, but there was never any resolution. It was just, you're wrong, that's it. And he would walk away, give me the silent treatment for days, and we never really could resolve those issues. So that wasn't healthy either. What is healthy is to have conflict because you're two different people who come from two different backgrounds. You see the world differently, you have different experiences, and you're going to have differences of opinion and things to work through. What makes a conflict healthy is that eventually you are able to resolve it. You're able to talk it through and come to an agreement, come to a compromise, come to an understanding. You walk away from that conflict feeling like it has been resolved. Often you feel closer to your partner after going through something like that. You understand them better. They understand you better. It's actually a positive thing. Conflicts in relationship do not mean that the relationship is bad if you are resolving them. That's normal and that's supposed to happen. When you can have a conflict and come to a mutual understanding where both partners feel heard and accepted, that's when real love can flourish. So I want to know, what would you tell your younger self when it comes to dating and relationships? What do you wish your younger self could know if you could go back in time and be that coach for them? Let me know. Share your wisdom in the comments. We all need to hear this. And if you want to know how to avoid a situationship, which is happening for so many of you out there right now, check out this video.